Hello, welcome to Endemic Times. My name is Amira. The UN has recently put out a biannual report that looks at our food supply and what the outlook is looking like over the next year to 2 years. The war in Ukraine has really created a tenuous situation when it comes to grains, wheats, and the overall food supply that area in particular provides to a large portion of the world, predominantly developing countries and very poor countries. This is going to be a series of videos that I do. This first video is going to be looking at specifically the UN report on food. The other videos that I will be doing are going to be related to specifically how the war in Ukraine is affecting global food supply and the likely shortages that will occur from that. And then also the specific countries that are being directly affected by both the war in Ukraine and this serious issue that we're seeing in global food supplies. So please take a look at the upcoming videos that I'll have on that. It'll all be in a playlist for you, and all articles that I talk about will be in the description box below. These are some of the key issues that I felt were important to bring to you. So let's take a look. Global wheat markets are embarking on the 2022-23 season with a great deal of uncertainty. The impacts of the ongoing war in Ukraine, trade policy changes in several countries, and high international prices will shape much of the wheat market outlook. So this is a look at wheat production, utilization, and stocks, and these are at levels that have not been reached since 2008. Global wheat production in 2022 is predicted to decline from the 2021 record level by 0.8%, reaching 771 million tons and marking the first drop in 4 years. U.S. production is expected to decline by approximately 8% in 2022 because of the 70% of the winter wheat area in the U.S. being under drought conditions in early May. World wheat stocks are set to increase marginally by 0.4% to 298 million tons by the close of the seasons in 2023. However, much of that increase is foreseen to be concentrated in China, the Russian Federation, and Ukraine, while stock drawdowns are anticipated in several countries in Africa and Asia. So why is this an issue? Well, the problem here is that in the most desperate areas that are in need, in countries such as Africa, this decline in the availability of wheat will send this already impoverished nation into farther levels of starvation, malnutrition, and ultimately death. Global meat production is forecast to reach 361 million tons in 2022, expanding by 1.4% in 2022, albeit at a slower pace than the 4.5% growth realized in 2021. The expansion is driven mainly by a steep growth in meat output foreseen in China and notable increases in Brazil, Australia, and Vietnam, to be partly offset by anticipated declines in the European Union, the United States of America, Canada, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and Argentina. While meat production in China, Brazil, and Australia is expected to increase, along with better market conditions and overall improvements in the major meat production, the limited availability of slaughter-ready cattle, lower herd inventories, widespread animal diseases, and smaller profit margin could reduce meat output or slow growth in the European Union and the United States. So we're seeing that there's going to be a huge difference in the meat production and supply in the United States and the European Union versus China, Russia, and South American countries. World trade in meat and meat products is forecast to reach 42 million tons in 2022, making it the slowest growth in the last 7 years. Protein is a really crucial part of the human diet, whether that's a plant-based protein or meat protein. It is very critical to have in your diet because it provides so much nutrients. With the continued slowing of production in the United States and the European Union in areas that we are already seeing shortages and supply issues when it comes to meat production, this is going to have a systemic effect that's going to build upon itself as the year moves forward. Newly reopened food service businesses have revived demand, boosting sales significantly. Despite its negative impacts, the pandemic has served as a catalyst for various innovations in delivery, sales, marketing, and products, which look set to endure in the long term. The revitalization of tourism and retail markets is driving prices steeply upwards for many aquatic products. So this has a much more positive outlook for fish and fishery products that are seeing a good increase. So even though it is looking to be an improved outlook and projection for 2022, there is still a concern due to the war in Ukraine. Global fisheries and production is expected to increase in 2022 by 1.5%. So, what are the key takeaways from this global food report? Well, there is a general decline or slowing in many key areas, and those are wheat, rice, and grains. There's a slowing in oil crops, and there's possible increases in meat, dairy, and fisheries, but those are in particular countries, not all of them. And again, particularly here in the United States and then also in the European Union, that's where they're seeing the biggest issues when it comes to meat production. There is an expected increase when it comes to sugar production. But none of this is a guarantee. And with the war in Ukraine and tensions with Russia and China, there's an ever-growing global uncertainty where a lot of this could change. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. And if you want to see more videos on the food crisis and food instability, you can check out that playlist right here. Thank you again for watching. Stay safe, take care, and remember to be kind to each other.